Day, loves. Welcome to Fireside Chat with Kimberly. Thank you for being here with me this evening. For some of you, it might be a holiday you're celebrating, so thanks for taking 20 minutes or so to spend it with me. Thank you to Rebel Cheese, the sponsor for this week's talks. Prize packs for this month's contest have been graciously donated by Hodo Foods, Follow Your Heart, Cinnaholic, Revolution Gelato, Terra Seed, and Fabulous. As always, I invite my viewers to enter the monthly contest at virtualvegfest.com and click on the contest tab for details. Entering is super easy. So by liking and or subscribing to our social media and Virtual Veg Fest YouTube channel, we're entered to win one of these amazing prize packs from those companies that I just mentioned. So hello, hi. Let me see. I have a feeling we're going to have.
Is it better? Please let me know. It seems that I was staticky. Hey, Diane. Are you able to hear me? Please do. Oh, no. So, hi, Diane. Thanks for being here. I sound like I'm sick. I am so amped up right now. So I am definitely not feeling sick. I finally got around to watching the halftime show from the Super Bowl yesterday, and I am like jacked. I really enjoyed that. So I thought I was coming here with all this great energy, and it turns out I sound like I'm sick. I hope it gets better. There seems to be an issue with my AirPods or something. So we'll work that out for next week. Welcome. Happy Valentine's Day again for those of you who have just joined. Tonight, I just thought I'd talk about love. Why not? It doesn't have to be romantic love. Love for ourselves, love for the animals, for the planet, love for being vegan, some of our favorite vegan celebrities maybe. And of course, any questions or comments that you guys want to share, that would be wonderful. Just pop them in the comments and I will chat with you. I also would like to first call out. So when I was growing up, one of the things that my dad always did for Valentine's Day is he would buy my mom big box chocolates, and then he would buy my brother and I smaller boxes of chocolates. And, as we got older, that kind of waned. And then I went vegan, and my dad was like, I have no idea what to buy you, so no more Valentine's Day chocolate. And I checked the mail on Friday, and my dad had sent me vegan chocolates from Farm Sanctuary. And I was so touched. It was so lovely, and they were so good. They were cherry flavored. One of our shared favorite candies, too, when I was younger, was those like chocolate cherry cordials. And these taste just like that, but like better quality chocolate. Oh my gosh, it was just so, so wonderful. What a wonderful, beautiful little surprise to show his love. So that was just a little note I wanted to share and call out my dad. Happy Valentine's Day, Diane. Thank you. All right. So how about our favorite vegan celebrity couples? I was looking at an article today, and of course, Joaquin and Rooney were right there at the top. And then Kevin Smith, his wife is not vegan, but I believe she's vegetarian now. So it seems he and Harley Quinn are really working on that. So keep going. Maybe, you never know. But of course, it's okay to be in a relationship with someone who isn't vegan, even if you are. And we can talk about that too, if you want. I was surprised to see, and I don't know why it surprised me, maybe because his name had never come up, or just given the type of comedy that he is known for, I just never put together Jeff Dunham and veganism. But it turns out that he is vegan, and so is his wife, and they have two twin boys that, at least in this picture, look to be about 5 years old. They're vegan too. How cool is that? A whole family of vegans. So that was a pretty neat thing to discover. Hey, Patricia. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for being here. And then finally, one of my favorite two of my favorite people to follow on Instagram, Richard Marks and Daisy Fuentes. They are also a vegan power couple. And Richard Marks is never afraid to get in a fight with people about it. And sometimes it can be kind of fun to watch him go back and forth and argue with people and try to get them to see his way. So who do you guys have favorite vegan celebrities that inspire you? Celebrity couples that inspire you, or what's your setup like? I know, you guys know that my husband's vegan now, but he wasn't always. He hit the 2-year mark back in October of 2021. So most of our relationship, he wasn't. And he went from being, he went from consuming animals to vegan. So he didn't have a stretch of being vegetarian. So the 2 years that, I guess he had a stretch of like 6 months where he was vegetarian a few years ago. But hi, Richard. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for being here. But most of our relationship, he wasn't vegan. And, I actually went through my shows, and I don't think I ever did a show on vegan dating. We did talk about it on the Stew. I can't remember offhand which episode that is, but you can visit veganstew.com if you want to, or the YouTube channel, Vegan Stew YouTube channel, and you can search for the episode on dating where we all talk about our experiences that way. But I don't think I've ever done a talk about dating on this show. So, when JP and I met, he was like, that's great that I was vegetarian at the time. Like, oh, that's great that you're vegetarian. And my goal was always to get back to being vegan. And he's like, but that's not for me. And then as he spent time with me, he had respect for me and kind of what I was talking to him about, he started really listening. And I realized I said that, and I don't want it to sound like someone who is not vegan and hasn't been, even if you've been with them for a long time, means that they don't respect you. That's not what I meant. But yeah, so he really listened, and he was willing to watch documentaries and everything, but it didn't take. And what actually did it was a concern for his health. He was fine, but he was feeling like he wasn't fine, and he started to really think about, like, I'm concerned about my health. And then we were lucky enough 2 months in a row, I think it was back to back, to see Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn speak, and then we were able to see Dr. T. Colin Campbell speak. And after that, he was like, okay, it was like 2 days after we saw Dr. Campbell. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go vegan. And he hasn't looked back. And now, there was always that emotion around the animals and doing it for an ethical reason. But what got him there was health and his concern for health. And Diane's vegan and her husband's not, but he will eat the vegan food she makes. That is amazing, because there are certainly some people that probably don't. And so there's a lot of multiple meals being made in people's homes, but you make it work. You don't love someone solely because of how they eat, for sure. So, so you have to consider the whole package, right? That's my thought. But, Valentine's Day and love is not just about love, romantic love. We can talk about love for ourselves and finding that, being vegan and how loving that is. If you ask me, I think that being vegan is the most loving thing you can do, and the most loving way that you can live your life. That's my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours, but it is mine. And I think that when you are vegan, because you're considering everything, not just you and your experience, and not just your bubble, you're also considering the people who are impacted by the way that you eat, and the animals who are impacted by the way that you eat. And it kind of goes out from there. But also, I think when you lead from compassion, when you're leading from kindness, when that is how you choose how to show up every day, and what you are, and how you form decisions, and come to conclusions about things, how you interact with people, when you're led from compassion and led from kindness, now you're spreading that every time you interact with another person. And even if that person had never considered veganism before, or maybe had a really awful experience with a vegan who was really hardcore and or wasn't kind to them, you have the opportunity to change that around. So now you might have a person that you've interacted with thinking a little bit differently about it, and maybe you would be able to then, maybe what that kicks off is that they start to really learn about being vegan, and maybe they go vegan, and now that they've experienced that kind of compassion and love shared with them from someone who was vegan, like maybe that's how they'll approach it. And then they'll meet more people, and they lead from compassion, they lead from kindness. We don't know, like, the ripple effect that we might have. That sounds like a very interesting class. In college, I took a class called What is Love? And you can take such good classes in college. Sometimes I think about just like checking out what's available and like attending like a one-off class if I could, because you really can enjoy some interesting things, learn some interesting things in college. Sometimes I miss it. Susan, hi. Yeah, it's so beautiful. It just, if we could just, people, they hear the word love, and there's so much around that. Like, how many people do you know who are like weirded out if they're about someone saying they love them like too soon, or even like in a friendship? I remember, now I was only like 13, so maybe that was part of the problem. But I remember I was at a friend's house, and I had been having a really hard day, and she said something really kind to me, and I said, "I love you." And she got totally weirded out. And it wasn't it was really, it was just in a, like, I was just how I was feeling. She was being so kind to me, and I just wanted her to know how much that had meant. And like, that doesn't just happen when you're a kid. Like, that happens as you meet people, as you develop friendships, and people just take love to mean like you're in love with someone. But like, we can love different people in many different ways, and it doesn't always have to be romantic love. So we can lead with love without it being overbearing. We can approach the world by being loving, and what it really is like a big warm hug. I don't know. I just I kind of went off on a tangent there, and I don't really know where I'm going, but the point is that I think if that is what helps us make the decisions, is this loving? Is this kind? Is this compassionate? Why, like, what an amazing difference that can make in a world where people are made to feel. And maybe it's just this culture too. I'm not world traveled or anything. I've spent most of my life, I've lived all of my life in the US. I've visited here and there outside the US, but I've lived all of my life in the US. And so maybe it's just here or certain cultures or whatever, but it feels less like a loving community in a lot of ways, and more like we're supposed to just take care of ourselves. You defend your family, your immediate family, the people who live in your home, and that's it. Everybody else is like whatever. And I feel like the more we get into something like that, the harder it is to just be a loving community. So for those of us who are trying to make a change in the world, like inspiring more vegans, I think we have to kind of turn that on its head. And we, as difficult it is, have to be accepting that people aren't where we are, but it's important to remember that at one point most of us were where they are. Unless you're born and raised vegan. And there are probably a lot more of those people now, but people my age and older, there's probably not a ton of that. What else did I want to say? I don't know. How's your Valentine's Day going? Did anybody do anything they want to talk about? I was thinking right before I logged in here, as I was still dancing to some music, I was thinking about Valentine's Day, as a holiday, going out, that kind of stuff. And I was reminded of my very favorite, like Valentine's dinner, like out at a restaurant. Company, not fantastic. Okay. Was not my husband. It was like early 2000s, probably between 2002 and 2004, because I'm thinking about the relationship and the timeline there. But that's not the important part. The important part was that it was at Candle 79 in New York City. And that was the fanciest Valentine's dinner I've ever had. And it was so, so amazing and so good. And Candle 79, unfortunately, is not open anymore. But I just remember that was also the first time that I had, oh my gosh, look at that. Woke up to the house dressed in Valentine's decorations. Best ever. I love that. Oh my gosh. How amazing is it when someone like gets creative like that? For me, that is even better than like fancy dinner and all that. Someone who takes the time to decorate and whether they've made the decorations or not, but to do that, oh, so wonderful. Good for you. What an amazing Valentine's Day. And I remember this meal at Candle 79. It was the first time I'd had tempeh, and it was amazing. But also, it was the first time I'd been to a vegan restaurant, and I could eat everything on the menu, and it was just so fantastic. And I just loved it, and I just wanted to, give a shout out to Candle 79, even though it does not exist anymore. That was my best vegan Valentine's meal for sure. And now, I mean, my husband and I, what we do a lot of years is, and especially the last couple of years, is we will turn on the fireplace, especially if it's a weekend. We had a couple of Valentine's days that were over the weekend. We turn on the fireplace. It's always, or almost always, pretty cold. And we will just like either use the blow-up mattress or just lay down a bunch of blankets, and we will just lay on the floor near the fire, and we will just watch movies. Not always romantic movies, sometimes action, whatever, dramas. And we just spend the day, and we watch movies, and we talk to each other, and it's just wonderful. And that honestly is fantastic. And sometimes we cook, and sometimes we order in. I don't know. It's just loving and lovely. Ah, Diane, that's fantastic. Now remember, Diane told us earlier her husband is not vegan, and he got her vegan chocolate truffles for Valentine's Day. I love it. So sweet. All right. Well, I hope that you all feel very loved today in whatever way. And even if it's just from me right now, I hope that you all feel super loved. You know that you deserve that no matter what, and that you feel it from my heart to yours. I am so thankful, as always, to be here every Monday with you, to have these talks, get a glimpse into my life. I get a glimpse into yours. We learn some things. We talk about all things vegan and whatever else comes up, it seems. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. Bye.